Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Life with Patty. It is Tuesday afternoon. It's about 10 after 3. And I thought today we would have a little chat. And then I'm going to do some coloring out of this cute little Barbie coloring book that I have. I've colored several pictures out of here, but I still have several in here to color. So it's a great book. I'll show you in a minute. And we will color something out of there. But first, I have some happy mail here today from my friend Kathy, and her channel name is MS Crafty Girl 42. And I was not expecting this in the mail, so I'm kind of thinking it might be a get well card. I'm not sure. Oh no, look, it's a 4th of July card. How cool is that? And she made it herself. Look at that sparkly glitter paper. That is so, so beautiful. Fireworks, kisses, 4th of July wishes. And then you open it up and she's got some cool stickers in here. My grandson loves these stickers and I use them a lot too. I love the butterflies, the patriotic butterflies. And then Sweet Land of Liberty. Very cool. And then in here, she's got the patriotic lips. That's so cute. It says, Patty, wishing you and Rick a happy and safe 4th of July. God bless America. Your friend, Kathy. P.S. Keeping you and Rick in my prayers always. They are a wonderful lady. And we belong to a Hobby Hub Club chat group on Facebook. And so we message through there a lot. And so, Kathy, thank you so very much. I really, really do appreciate this. Love the stickers. And, yeah, I'm very grateful for that. So I wanted to show you something, too. I know that at the beginning of the month, I always do you know, the movies that we watched for the month. But we watched this movie this morning, The Crew. And it's an older movie, of course. And it has Burt Reynolds, Seymour Cassel, Richard Dreyfuss, and Dan Aykroyd. Wait, not Dan Aykroyd. Dan Hedja? I don't know who that is. I thought it was Aykroyd. Anyways, my husband and I were going back and forth because he said Burt Reynolds was dead. I was like, no, he's not. So we Google it. Yes, he is. And then I said Dan Aykroyd is dead. So we Google it. No, he's not. So with all this confusion with my husband, he was spot on with who had passed and who hadn't, and I was all messed up with that. Anyway, so we watched this. It was the stupidest movie ever. Like, we were just like, oh, that's a bummer, because I bought it hoping it was going to be a good movie, and it was not. So, oh well, you win some, you lose some. That's what we say, you know. I've got my water here, and I've got my Coca-Cola over ice, but for some reason today, I'm a little more thirsty for just like water. I don't know why, but I am. So after I get done with this video, we are gonna watch this movie. Well, hubby's taking a nap right now, and that's okay. He can sleep as long as he wants because he had an awesome morning. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I love this movie. I don't know if any of you guys have ever watched it, called Now and Then. And it is with Melanie Griffith, Demi Moore, Rosie O'Donnell, and Rita Wilson. It is the best movie ever. I tell you, I've watched it I don't know how many times. And the 4 actresses that I just mentioned, at first they're all young kids, and then they go into being older kids. It goes back and forth in their life. And they've been best friends since they were in like junior high. And they're all grown up, and they still get together all the time, and all their lives have gone in different directions. But it's such a cute movie, and I love it because it's centered around growing up in the 60s, which I did. And so like the songs in here, their bicycles with their baskets and their horns, everything reminds me of when I was growing up. And even the boots that I can't think of her name now. These boots are made for walking. One of the mothers was wearing those, and it reminded me of my sister, because my sister used to wear those boots all the time. So like a fashion statement, you know. I loved the clothes in the 60s. My sister was older than me by 10 years, so of course in the 60s I was young, but I was on my bike and playing with my friends, and then my sister was in high school, and so she wore all the funky clothes that they wore. But I love that movie. We've watched it a million times, and I'm gonna watch it again and do some knitting, and yeah, and enjoy the rest of our afternoon. So let me point the camera down. We'll do some visiting as I color. So you of course are gonna see me upside down, but that's the best angle that I seem to be able to get you guys to be able to see. So this is the Cartoon Go coloring book, Barbie Life in the Dream House. Oh my gosh, the first Barbie book I bought, I didn't realize it. It says Barbie book for stoners or something like that, like smoking pot one. And Kiki and Emily, if they see this video, they're gonna crack up because they just laughed about that for I don't even know how long. I think I ended up sending Emily the book. I didn't want it, but yeah. But see, they're easy pages, but they're so cute. I love them all. I'm not sure what I want to do today. Maybe we'll do this one. All right, always put a piece of paper or two for the bleed through that you get with alcohol markers. If you're coloring with pencil, you don't have to worry about that. Other than that, I would always put a backup behind it because you don't, or if you're coloring with crayons, you're okay also. So, okay, I'm just gonna start coloring with these flesh tone alcohol markers from Peter Popper Press. These are the absolute favorite flesh tone markers I've ever found. Like I said, they're from Peter Popper Press, and they're like a pack of like 5 different colors or 6 different colors. They're not cheap. They're like $12.99 for those 6 colors, but they're just the perfect shades for skin tones. So, yeah, so I buy them all the time, over and over and over again, because we sell them at my work, and they're just a great quality. They do dry out fairly fast. Maybe that's because I do a lot of people, you know, I color a lot of portraits. So anyways, well, we are having a fantastic day today. My husband is doing 100% better today than yesterday. Yesterday I was so worried about him, and I've been worried about him every day. And as you know, if you watch my videos, you know that I'm just like, I don't know how I'm gonna go back to work. I'm gonna have to quit working. And I talked with you guys all about that, and I got so much great, helpful information about that. Today, it was just like, what the heck happened? It's like 110% turnaround. He woke up in the middle of the night, and like when I went to bed, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if he's gonna wake up, you know, like I was so scared. And then I would check on him every hour and take his oxygen level every hour, and his oxygen was fine, but he was just so out of it, you know. And so about 3 o'clock he woke up to go to the bathroom, and he was a little more coherent, and I was like, okay, this is good, this is a good sign. But he was still kind of woozy, you know. And then this morning he woke up at 7, and I thought he was kind of out of it. And then it's funny because it's like he knew what he wanted, you know, like he wasn't just all mush mouth. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna sit you up to the side of the bed and change your clothes and all that stuff. And he's like, nope, I want to eat first. And usually he would just, when he wasn't feeling well, he would just be like, okay, or, you know. Yesterday he didn't even get up. He didn't feel good at all. Today I said, fine. I said, what do you want for breakfast? I want some of that fruit salad. I'm like, what fruit salad? I think he was dreaming about fruit salad, but I made him a fruit salad and some oatmeal, and that's what he had. That's what he had for breakfast. and he woke up at 7, and he did not fall back asleep until 1 o'clock. No, like noon. So I ran to town really quick to run some errands. I had to go to the bank and the post office. And so let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So for 5 hours, he was wide awake. And then he said he got a little cat nap in, but when I got home I think I got home at 1. And I had lunch. I brought lunch home. And I thought, oh man, I'm going to have a hard time waking him up. Nope, he woke up right away. And he woke up clear-headed and knew what was going on. And when his nurse came this morning from home health, he was very coherent with her and talked with her. And she and I were talking, and I said he was so out of it. But okay, so when he had the trach in his throat, he had it in there for 4 days. And for 4 days, they kept him like in a self-induced coma. Because they didn't want him pulling at his trach or whatever. They even had his arms tied to the side of the bed. Not hard, but in like those Velcro things, because they did not want him to mess with his trach at all. And so he was on that medicine, and sometimes he would wake up a little bit and we'd chat a little bit. And the minute he got a little aggravated or upset or something, they would just, in the IV, they would hit this medicine and it would knock him right back out and he'd go back to sleep. So the nurse was saying that medication will last in your system for quite a while. So he's been home, tomorrow will be a week, and they took him off of that medicine like probably 4 days before we came home. So he's been off of it for over a week. And today is the first day that he's really clear-headed, And boy, what a difference. Like, you guys all know, yesterday I was like, I'm going to have to quit my job and blah, blah, blah. And today, when I ran to town, because usually he can be left by himself for about 4 hours, and then home health comes in here 6 times during 1 week. 2 times by the nurse, 2 times by the CNA, 2 times for physical therapy. And then we have a caregiver that helps us, and she'll stop in a few times. And then we have a girl that cleans the house, and so she'll stop by. So there's always somebody stopping by, and he's got lots of friends. But I was afraid to leave him, and now I am completely confident he will be okay. And so I'll still have somebody with him Thursday and Friday when I go back to work, but he is going to be okay. So I was so nervous about it. I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I actually had a full-on panic attack last night. And I text our caregiver because she's so encouraging. And she's just like, I love you guys. I'm praying for you all. And I mean, she's just so amazing. And she's like, if you ever need prayers, you don't need to explain it to me. Just text me and say, I need prayers right now. And so I read out of the Bible last night. I prayed to God last night. I talked to his caregiver last night. And I just got through it. And then this morning I wake up and he is like 100% better. It's just amazing. And like right now he's taking a nap. He's been taking a nap for about an hour and a half. And that's just normal for him for the afternoon to take a nap. And that's okay. And the best thing is when he wakes up now, he's very clear-headed. And so that's what doesn't worry me so much. And like when I went and ran errands today, I wasn't stressed out. Yesterday, I was so stressed out. I was trying to hurry home as fast as I could. And today, I knew he was going to be okay. I just knew it. You know how you have that feeling and you know it's going to be okay? And that's how I feel now. So definitely my prayers were answered and God listened to us. And my husband has a very strong faith in God. Way more than I do. I admit that wholeheartedly. And he has always had a strong faith where sometimes, I'm doubtful. And I did switch churches 2 months ago. and my new church has really helped me a lot. And but anyways, but my husband has always had a very strong faith, and you know, so I think God knows. I told God, you like, you know, he believes in you 100%. He always prays for everything my husband does, and so I just feel like our prayers were answered. My prayers were answered. His prayers were answered. I just feel so much better. I just can't even explain how much better I feel right now. And I had even thought, okay, I'm gonna have to start pulling out of our IRAs, and you know, no, we don't need to do that. I will go back to work, and I feel confident now. And like I said, his home health nurse came today, and then his CNA text, and he's coming out to give him his bath tomorrow. And now I've been off for a week, and so I'm kind of getting used to this home life, and I love my job, but I actually love being home. But you know, now I'm gonna, of course, go back to work. You know what? I'm trying to figure out whose arms are whose here. If you see how like her arm comes over here, then I think it comes out here. It does. So, I mean, their coloring is just a shade off. One is powder and one is porcelain, so they're not that big of a difference, but still I'm trying to keep them right. And then her arm's coming off here, and she is the porcelain. But you can tell a difference though, huh? Like that one's a little pinker. So where is it now? Where is her? There's one arm. I don't think the other hand shows. Okay. And then she's got this arm draped around here. I've definitely got in a lot of coloring this month so far, and it's only what, the 8th of July. And I started reading a new book, and I finished another book. So, and I've done a lot of organizing around the house too. So I've gotten a lot done. But now it's time to get back to a normal schedule for both of us. Oh, and hubby sat to the side of the bed today for 8 minutes. Every day we're increasing it by 1 minute. So yesterday he didn't sit up, like I said. He was tired. And then so today he sat up for 8 minutes, and I shaved his beard, and he said I did a good job. So tonight we're going to sit up again for 9 minutes. Yeah, we'll just keep increasing it every minute until we reach 30. And then his home health nurse said he needs to sit up for 30 minutes twice a day. That's a lot because, you know, he's out of shape from laying in bed for so long, but we're going to get there. Then my oldest son, he was kind of, he means well, but he was kind of hounding me today about putting him in rehab, and that's the most important thing, blah, 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 blah. And finally I told him, okay, I know, now stop stressing me out. I don't need that. Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm just here to help you in any way I can. I know, but just stop stressing me out. Like, there was no way he was even ready for rehab before because he was just way too weak. So we will find some rehab for him, but I told my son to back off. So, and this is a son that lives in Washington, but he means well, but as the oldest of the kids, he always seems to kind of want to be in charge, and he drives my other sons all crazy too. They're like, why does he always want to be in charge? I go, that's just because he's the oldest, and that's what happens, you know. So anyways, but he does mean well by it, but Mama told him to back off. So anyways, it was funny because a couple of visits ago when my husband was in the hospital, his bed was acting weird. It got stuck and it wouldn't go up or down unless you plugged it in, and then you had to unplug it because it would just beep, or I don't know, there was something wrong with it. And the nurses all tried to figure it out, and their maintenance guy tried. Nobody could figure it out, right? And so my son came in to visit him at the hospital, and he was like, "That's driving me crazy that they didn't fix that." And he's like, "I know." He's like, "But I have to wait till tomorrow when they're gonna call somebody or whatever." Anyway, so my husband looks at the model of the bed, and he Googles it on his phone and fixed it. And he is an engineer. He's a nuclear engineer, and so he fixed it right away. He got it fixed, and so then one of the nurses came in, and my husband told him, "Oh, hey, my stepson fixed the bed." They're like, "How did he do that?" And he says, "Oh, he Googled it on his phone, but it might help that he's an engineer too." So I thought that was funny because, like, yeah, he's just like, "No, I'm not gonna wait for tomorrow. We're gonna fix this now." And he did. So I thought that was funny. So sometimes he drives me crazy, but sometimes, he's wonderful. That's like all our kids. My other son came over Sunday, and we put the bird feeders, I think I showed you in the video, so we put the bird feeders in the window, so when my husband looks out the window, he can see the bird feeders, and so we had to switch it around like 3 times because the way it was in the window, my husband couldn't see it, so, but we finally got it. We got it off. So my son came in and did that, and then he put together the lamp that we're going to put over his bed for him, and then fixed my dryer because my dryer, the heating element went out on it, so I had ordered a new heating element. So my son came over and changed the heating element, and I don't know, I had all kinds of little, clean the filter in our air conditioner. He had all kinds of little jobs I had him do. So it is very handy that my sons are helpful. I remember when my dad, when we moved him to a care home, it was assisted living, and it was in the town over in Yuba City, and we moved my dad there for assisted living. So he had his own apartment and everything, and he would call my other son number 2 in line, and because he lived in Yuba City, and he would say, "Cody, I can't get my TV to work." And so my poor son, he'd get dressed and go over to the apartment complex, or to the assisted living, and, "Grandpa, you hit this button instead of this button. You got to keep it on this button." "Oh, okay." So he would fix it for my dad. So all my boys are super good boys. They just sometimes they forget about me. Sometimes I feel like, but then I say, okay, I'm not going to be like my dad. He always wanted tons of attention from us kids. There's 4 of us, and I have 4. And so if I feel lonely or something, I'll text him. The one lives in Montana, so I don't see him as much. But I'll text my boys. But I don't want to be like my dad. He was very demanding with us 4 kids. He wanted all, after my mom passed away, lots of attention. He wanted lots of attention. And I try not to be like that. But I do rely on my kids to help us sometimes. So. And they're all very good with Rick, because Rick is not their biological dad. He is their stepdad. But they're all good with him. And, yeah. And then, Rick's 2 daughters are wonderful. They're wonderful with their dad, too. So it's all good. Between the 2 of us, we have 6 kids and 13 grandkids. Isn't that crazy or what? But it's just fine. I love it. My grandson Jackson loves Taylor, Rick's daughter. She's a teenager now, but Jackson loves doing, because she'll play Play-Doh with him or whatever. She's good with kids. So I don't know if she babysits for people, but if she did, she'd be a good babysitter because she's really good with kids. So anyway, so you see this one's coming along very well. I like this color book. And I've been catching up on a lot of videos because I've been watching videos throughout the day. I didn't go to Dollar General today. I went to the bank, went to the post office. It was so annoying. So I ordered stuff on Amazon, and it was supposed to come to the house. And then, nope, they sent it to my P.O. box and said I had to go in and get it. So when I went in, I asked them, why can't they deliver it to the house? Well, if you have a P.O. box, then they just send it here. And I thought I could do it because for Father's Day, Rick's older daughter sent him a really nice blanket, and she sent it to the house, and it came to the house. So I was like, oh, cool, I can get my Amazon here. But she doesn't have a P.O. box here. She just sent it here. So it came, but I tried to send stuff. Nope, didn't come. So aggravated. I normally send it to my work, but I thought because I wasn't at work, I would just send it here. Now I have 2 more packages that are coming here that aren't going to come here. They're going to go to the P.O. box. So now I learned, and I'll go back to sending them to my work. But that was just annoying because, like, sometimes I send them and they are going to arrive on a Saturday or Sunday, and at work, we're not open on Saturdays or Sundays, so then I have to wait. But I did send it to my son that lives here in town. I sent the dryer part because it was coming on Sunday, and it went to his house on Sunday. So it's just, I wish that they would deliver out here and make it so much easier. But I get it because, like, Amazon has gone huge now. So, you know, there's probably 4 to 6 Amazon vans that deliver around town here, and we're a small town. So yeah, Amazon has been great in some ways, and then in some ways it's hurt so many businesses, you know. But I admit that I'm the first to order from it because it's just handy, you know. So like, I needed more medical gloves and I wasn't at work for over a week, so I just ordered them on Amazon. I usually get them at work, but I don't know about you, but when I'm not at work, I don't want to go into my work. And especially since everybody else is still working, but I'm taking a little leave, I just didn't feel like going in. So then I had to go to the post office and pick them up. But whatever. But anyways, I went to the post office, the bank. My son got me birdseed at the next town over because they were out of birdseed here. So I went to his house to pick up the birdseed. Then I went and got our lunch, so I just came home. But I still need to go back to Dollar General and get cat food and that kind of stuff. But I can always do it tomorrow because I still am taking tomorrow off. And then I'll go back to work on Thursday. So anyways, all right, you guys. Well, I have chatted enough, but I just want to tell you guys all that I really appreciate every single one of you and all of you that left me different suggestions and comments about, you know, how to go about applying for different things. And I'm still going to remember all those things because you never know. You know, in the future I might have to still, but it looks like everything is going to be okay and everything is going to work out. And I am the first one to be a Debbie Downer about stuff, so thinking the worst possible scenarios, but you know, it all works out. And life is good today. Life is wonderful today. So you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. I'm taking tomorrow off, and then after that I am back to work, back to getting up to an alarm clock. Right now I haven't had to get up to an alarm clock, and it has been wonderful. And I was up by 7 o'clock this morning, but usually I'd be up at 5:30. So yeah. All right, you guys, take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.